What's up, you GTII investors and moneymakers? Welcome back to the channel. We are in green for GTII 4.43%. Overall, we are up 47 to 50%. So watch out for this. Many of you, my viewers and subscribers, you bought GTII based on what we talked about at $26 or $30. And we have seen a massive ramp up for 48%. I precisely covered GTII before 4 days. We talked about this particular catalyst and we talked about GTII can ramp up, and here we are. 50% return on 3 to 4 days is not a small feat, so congratulations to whoever made it. I precisely covered when it was $30 and we talked about this can go to $1.25 and then it can spike back up all the way to $2. Yes, it did not really go to $2, but it did go to $1.76. I want to say it went to $1 and slightly more than that, but it went to $1.78. So congratulations to whoever made it. Again, the technical analysis works pretty well. We covered this at $26 precisely. Many of you bought it around $30. Yes, it did go to $1.17, but then all in all, if you bought it around $20, $30, you are making such a nice return, especially if for last 5 days, even if you bought it around $35, $40, you are still making 20% return on your investment just within last 5 days. I will let you decide what you want to do because there is one big catalyst coming up for GTII tomorrow, and I want to share and cover that news. Before I go ahead, let's take a look. For MULN, we made good money. HCMC we talked about, and HCMC has big news. They got appeal in their favor decision, at least at the moment. TRKA we covered, it went up 65% just within a day. GTII, as I told you, went to 50% up. So in return, all I ask you is to hit the like button, share some love with the channel, make this channel part of your due diligence, so hit the subscribe button as well so you don't miss out on some of these juicy and very interesting sticker symbols that I share on my channel. And for the most part, we have been pretty successful channel. There is always an opportunity into the market. You will need to find out where the opportunity is, and you make money in stock market when you sell the stock and not really you hold it for an entire period of time in perpetuity. Yes, you make a ton of money when you ride for free. Many of my viewers, and that's my personal strategy, exit strategy as well, I many times ride for free. No matter how HCMC goes down or up, I have my free money, which means my profit is in that particular stock, so I don't really need to worry about it at the end of the day. Going back to GTII, what is the catalyst? The catalyst is GTII submits a corporate action request to FINRA for the stock dividend. Additionally, sets the record date of April 15, 2023, which is going to be over the weekend. So you want to be careful. Tomorrow might be the last day. You want to verify that you are there on the record date. Write down in the comment section below what you're planning to do. Whether you're planning to sell and book the profit that you might have at this point, or you want to get the advantage of the dividend that they're offering. Now, many people burn out with MMTLP and next rich hydrocarbon, but this is GTII. We have been learning that there are precautionary measures that FINRA is taking, Congress is taking. One of the Congress member has been taking a lot more interest, and Congress is trying to figure out what's the best way to avoid this in future. Now, for particularly GTII, they announced on March 17th, and I just wanted to remind you that April 15th is over the weekend, but they announced that it submitted the corporate action request to FINRA to issue 1 for 10 stock dividend to its shareholders, which means for every 10 stocks that you own, you will be getting 1 stock as the dividend. In other words, you got 100 stocks, you will be getting 10 stocks in dividend, which is free money, free stocks to you. Same way, if you own 200 stocks, you'll get 20 stocks. And after that previously being approved by the board of directors, this particular action, a record date for the event is April 15, 2023, which is going to be on Saturday. Now, GTII is publicly traded company. We already know this, blah, blah, blah. And this is the forward-looking statement. So you want to watch out for this particular event that is coming up. This can serve as a big catalyst. Now, if you bought it around $1.30, $1.30, and right now, as you see, we are at $1.70 or $1.65 rather, we are seeing a pretty good momentum. So decide for yourself. And this is, again, it's an OTC traded entity. Let's take a look. Our volume today was pretty low. So I wanted to quickly share with you. 355,000 is a pretty small volume. Let me just go ahead and refresh. This is aftermarket data, but keep in mind that this is an OTC traded stock. Often when you have OTC traded or over-the-counter stock, you may see some delayed data. So keep that in mind. But yesterday our volume was 1.1 million on April 12th. On April 13th, which is today after market, I'm looking at 4:32 p.m. EST. Our volume is 355,000. However, we have been seeing higher highs for last 4 days. So take a look, higher lows and higher highs. So 117, 137, 135, give or take the same ballpark, and we went to $151, which was the low today. And the way we closed is at $65. In terms of, if you think about the high, we also made higher highs, but we slightly went lower today, $39, $40, 178, 178, and today it was slightly lower, high $1.68. But tomorrow is going to be very important because it's closing of the week on a Friday, April 14th, and many people will decide their strategy. Write down in the comment section below if you're going to stay for the record date or you are going to sell before the record date, and what do you think? Remember, my channel, I am not a financial advisor nor am a certified professional, but I like to share my due diligence and analysis with you. So you want to do your own due diligence and analysis when you have your own money into the game. Now, if you think about the financial, we talked about GTII back in the days, and we already talked about some of the disclosures that they shared with us as well. But the important thing that you want to note is there are a couple of things going on, especially GTII confirmed and updated the shareholders with the contract that FINRA regarding the dividend request has no plans for any corporate request or reference. GTII announced that it has been further contacted FINRA regarding the corporate action issued dividend to its shareholder in the form of one restricted share for every 10 share held as of the record date April 15th. And this is relatively new on March 29th, so you want to keep an eye out for this one as well, and I want to cover. Since the board of directors initially approved and authorized management to submit the corporate action by March 9, 2023, FINRA asked for additional information and clarification regarding the dividend request, which company promptly supplied. Company is focused on complying with any and all requests from FINRA in order to complete the dividend for its shareholder, and is not an undertaking, nor has planned to undertake any corporate actions, including forwards and reverse split. You want to note that forward or reverse split, especially the reverse split, if they don't have reverse split, that's a relatively relief for the investors and shareholders. Normally, reverse split, I'm not really a big fan of reverse split because the reason the company might artificially change their price point just to stay on NASDAQ, so on and so forth. But in this case, for GTII, they're an OTC traded entity, and NASDAQ or no NASDAQ, $1 or not dollar is not really relevant. But one thing that you want to notice for GTII is they have huge short volume. So they are also in the same boat of TRKA, GTII, MULN, HCMC, many of our stocks where short sellers are looking after that, and it has a target. So this stock is a target of short sellers, and as you can see, the short off exchange short volume ratio is 47.55%. Off exchange 553,000 shares, but I'll show you really quickly what it means on a daily basis. 1.1 million, that was the volume yesterday, and we saw 553,000, little over 500,000 in short volume. That puts the stock at 47.55 short volume ratio. Before that, we saw 2.3 mil, and the short volume ratio was a million plus, where we went to 46.36 or 46.86 rather. Before that, we saw 36, which was a lower short volume. But we went as high as low 60s a couple of times. Take a look in last 10 days. 64.45% short volume ratio. We also saw on March 31st, 62.28% short volume ratio. So this stock, all in all, is on target for the short sellers that you want to keep in mind. However, the moving average is pretty close to the real-time price point, which makes me think bullish things about GTII. What I'm waiting for is to see what happens tomorrow, because we saw the spike all the way up to $5 by the end of or Q4 in 2022, but since then we dropped out significantly and we went to $2.68 in February 2023, so before a couple of months. But after that, we saw a couple of negative news. We saw the dividend request, so on and so forth, and we did go to $2.32. But right now, we are trading at $1.65. Can it go to $3? Probably yes, as we were expecting. So let's take a look what happens tomorrow and how people take it. But dividend catalyst and short squeeze is not out of the question, because many people are going to decide their strategy. If it spikes up 25-30% tomorrow, we'll see where it goes. $1.65 is relatively a strong price point, and we have seen that was trading. The volume was consistently above 1 million, as high as 2.3 million on April 11th. And what we saw in terms of the price point is we are sustained about $1.60 pretty strongly for last 3 to 4 business days and trading sessions. I hope you like this video. If you did, do hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel and don't miss out on many juicy, many interesting stocks. So make this channel part of your due diligence and analysis on a daily basis. Thanks for sharing the love and support. I will see you in the next video.